guys, it's me, Steph, stuck in a truck, and I'm currently not stuck in a truck, as you can see. Nor am I stuck in my RV, as you can also see. I'm stuck getting changed to go to the pool for a few minutes while I wait on my laundry. But I have some news. Some bittersweet news, but still, you know, life is bittersweet sometimes. So, let's get on with it. Alright, clearly this is not the bittersweet part because I'm at the pool, that's sweet. I mean, I don't know if a million kids in the pool are sweet, but otherwise, pretty sweet to be at the pool. When I was at my last campground in Zephyr Hills, the pool was out of commission, and that was sad days. But I am at Three Flags right now, just doing some day use, and this pool looks good. Alright, so on to the bitter part of it. So, some of you know from my Facebook posts, Instagram posts, that I've had a pretty rough couple of days. I left Zephyr Hills on Tuesday and started my journey over to Eustis to Southern Palms. And I got almost all the way there. It's about 11 miles from Southern Palms. And I turned into a gas station and got a little bit of gasoline, got a cold beverage, went out, started driving out. And just as I started to pull out of the driveway of the gas station, my RV died. And so I tried to start it again. It made a whole bunch of racket and then died again and again and then wouldn't turn over. And that's the beginning of a scary tale. So basically what happened was I could not move my RV, and I was right in the driveway of a gas station right on 441. And I was not completely in the way people could get around me on both sides, and there was another entrance and exit to the gas station, but by far not an ideal location to break down. And so I tried to back it up just by rolling it down towards the back of the parking lot, but it wouldn't roll, it just sat. Tried to start it, nothing happened. Called Nomadic Hippie to ask him, just kind of tell him what was going on, see if he had any thoughts or whatever, and proceeded to contact Good Sam's. I know, some of you already know that this story is not going to go well from here. And I contacted Good Sam's, and I wanted to call them for a mobile mechanic because I felt like it was possible that I had just broken my belt and that maybe I could get a belt replacement and get on the way and get over to Southern Palms to enjoy the rest of my day and get out there and make some money. Not gonna happen. So I contacted Good Sam's. They got some information from me and requested a mobile mechanic to be dispatched out to me. And whenever Good Sam's or other roadside assistance plans tell you that you're going to get a service call or a tow or anything like that, apparently the standard is 90 minutes to 120 minutes minimum before your technician or tow truck will arrive. So I started to wait. It was hot. Me and Pooper went outside, went in, got another beverage, started trying to figure out what to do about things, and waited. And about 90 minutes went by, and the mobile mechanic called me and said, you know, what kind of RV do you have? He should have known that by now. I don't know that Good Sam's told him anything or not. He acted like he didn't know anything. Asked me about the problem I was experiencing and suggested that he thought I was going to need a new alternator, as well as possibly a battery, as well as a belt. I thought that was possible. And he quoted it as probably going to be over $400. I said, so could be even up to $600? He said, yes. I said, okay, well, let me make a phone call and I'll call you back. So I contacted Bestie, talked to him about it, see what his thoughts were on it. He agreed it could possibly be that. So proceeded to call that mechanic back as I told him I would in just a few moments. So about 5 minutes later, I called him back. He answered the phone. He said, oh, crap, I already turned my truck around. I'll call you back. Not a good start to the relationship. So about another 20 minutes went by. He called me back again. So at this point, you know, we're at the 120-minute mark. I've already been sitting there for hours in the driveway of a very busy gas station. And he proceeded to tell me that he thought it was going to be too expensive of a job for him to complete and that he wanted to decline the job, which I said, why didn't you decide that when they dispatched the job to you? Because this is wasted several hours of my time that I could be getting someone else out here. And he just said, I just don't think I'm going to make any money on this. I'm going to lose money on it. Now, he was going to get $175 an hour plus parts. He said he was going to mark up every part by 50%, as well as, service and anything else. So I was pretty shocked. But I said, okay, thank you. And I proceeded to call Good Sam's back. So I called Good Sam's back. I told him what had happened. They called him. He tried to lie about what he had actually said. By the way, if you contact a mobile mechanic out of Zephyr Hills, I can't remember what his name is right now. I'll try to drop that in the link. But I wouldn't pay that guy. He's a liar and a thief of your time, if nothing else. So they dispatched another gentleman to me. Another 90 to 120 minute wait. $185 an hour. Minimum of 2 hours. Dependent parts and service, and even if there's no outcome, you pay that $185 an hour for 2 hours. Okay, I understand. So I waited and waited and waited and waited. They called a couple times, said got delayed and he was on his way. He called once, said he was delayed, he was on his way, and he got there. And he was nice, he was cordial. He did some looking around underneath my engine, underneath the doghouse. Started, trying to diagnose what was going on, and he decided that he couldn't do anything for me, that my RV was stuck, and that he wasn't a tow truck, so he couldn't do anything for me on that end of the deal. So I thanked him for that. There are like little biting gnats out here, you guys. This is weird. So I thanked him, and he left. All right, so at this point, I decided to use my State Farm RV roadside assistance. I thought maybe I'll have a better experience. I'm going to try to get a tow truck. So I called them, and they proceeded to dispatch some different tow trucks to me. I think a couple of different ones, all of which who, after waiting several minutes to an hour each, said, we don't have a big enough piece of equipment to haul your RV out of there. So I proceeded to waste more time. At this point, it's getting late. I keep going into the convenience store to tell them that I'm trying to get out of there, that I'm spending money out of pocket to try to get out of there, that I'm not trying to block their business from getting more customers. And the gentleman that was on duty during that time at the Kangaroo Express on 441 was a nice gentleman. He tried to be understanding. He knew that it wasn't a good place for me to be. I agreed with him 100% and said I was doing the best I could to get out of there. So that was okay. So after that, I contacted State Farm back again. I said, hey, you guys haven't been able to get anyone out here. They said, we agree, we can't find anyone who has big enough equipment for you. We can give you the name and number of another tow operator who can come assist you. I said, okay. I got a phone number. It comes up as Dana's Towing Service on my checking account. It comes up as a towing service when you call their number that they never answer, except for when they're taking your first call. And they proceeded to tell me for $844 they would tow me out of there in 2 hours. So at that stage, I thought I was going to have someone there in 2 hours. And in a little bit of time, nobody had shown up. And eventually they called me and they said, we're being held up. The police had an accident that they needed our tow truck for, and they get precedence, so we have to go out there. We're going to be delayed. I said I understood, and I just said I would wait. I was at their, at their mercy. So I was waiting. So it's getting pretty late at this point. It's pretty late at night. And they called me back again later, or perhaps I called them. I'm not sure. I talked to a lot of people on Tuesday. And they said, we're not going to make it tonight. We're going to be there in the morning. And I said, I got to get out of here. These people are getting really upset with me. And I understand why. This is their business. It's their livelihood. They can't have me blocking traffic in their business. And they said, well, we can't get out there. We just can't get it out there tonight. It's going to be tomorrow morning. At 9 a.m., you're going to be our first number one thing. You're our priority. And I said, okay, I guess. I don't know. So at this point, I'm really worried, right? So a little bit later, I start thinking about it, and I'm like, why am I paying $844 for a priority tow from an out-of-network provider when I'm not going to even get towed till the morning, when I could probably get an in-network provider that would be $37.50 after my roadside assistance cost. And I was like, that's crazy. So I started to call, and I got talking to a girl, I think from Manila in the Philippines. She was very nice, and she kept trying to, get things done for me, making phone calls, making notes, trying to figure out what she could do, staying in contact. She was a very nice girl. But she couldn't do anything. And she probably really couldn't do anything. And so I continued to talk with her. I talked with her again at 4 a.m. She said once again that she couldn't do anything till 9 a.m., that her supervisor knew about my concerns about the cost, about the out-of-network versus in-network, about the fact that nobody had shown up and I'd already paid so much. And but she couldn't do anything. She told me to call her back at 9. So at 9 a.m., I called and I talked to her voicemail because she was probably gone for the day. It's probably her nighttime then. Since it was 9 in the morning in Florida, it was probably 9 at night in Manila. So I left her a voicemail, didn't really expect much to come of it. I then proceeded to call Good Sam's again and say, I need a tow truck. Nobody's showing up. I can't get a hold of anyone at this company who is supposed to show up here at 9 a.m. and hasn't shown up yet. And I need someone to come. And State Farm wasn't taking care of me. And by the way, State Farm and Good Sam's, they all use the same call center. Agera, I think is what it is, or something close to that, for the people who take your information, don't give it to anyone, dispatch the wrong people to you. So that's that. So Good Sam said they could get someone out to me for $265 out of pocket. I wasn't ready to do that. I'd already had $1,200 spent at this point, more than $1,200 spent for zero work, zero things done. So I said, I will call you back. So at this point, I called State Farm back and I said, at this point, I'm sorry. The people who were supposed to be there at 9 a.m. and the night before for the $844 called me and said that they couldn't get to me because the police had another accident, that they needed precedence to go deal with that and couldn't get me taken care of. So I told them to cancel the service. I would find somebody who was willing to tow me. At this point, the other owner or wife of the owner or manager came out and she started yelling at me that I was ruining her business, that she had lost thousands of dollars because of my RV, that I had to get out of there, that she was calling a tow truck, that they were going to have me impounded, and that basically they just kept treating me like I wanted to be there. I understand why they didn't want me to be there. I totally get that. But they acted like I was just ignoring what they wanted, and that my dream spot to camp out was their driveway. Alright guys, so at this point I'm getting really nervous, because if my RV gets impounded, guess what? More money, and I have access to nothing in my RV, and my food will be going bad in the RV, and you can imagine all the worst possible scenarios. So I'm freaking out, right? And Good Sam's, State Farm, roadside assistance, both of them doing nothing for me. They tried to dispatch again. Guess what? They dispatched another company that is too small of a vehicle to come get me. So I found a place in Leesburg where I was, called Ace's Towing and Wrecker or something like that. And I talked to the dispatch girl. She said, what's your name, what's your phone number, what kind of vehicle do you have? Send me a couple pictures of your vehicle and I'll get back with you and let you know. So I did that right away. She called me in about 5 minutes and said, I can have someone out to tow you in about 20 to 30 minutes. And it's going to cost you $500. I said, I understand. Bring them on out. So about 20 minutes later, James from Aces showed up, hooked me up, started working on all the hookups. Hard-working guy, got underneath, had to deal with, unhooking my drive shaft and being an old vehicle and rust and everything else. He had to do a lot of hard work to get me going. But he got me going, and he got me to the yard where my RV sits at this point with questions about what its future is. But ACES did a great job. They did exactly what they said they wanted to do. They were straightforward with their pricing. They were straightforward with their answer. They sent the right vehicle. They sent the right guy. They're the only company in this whole situation that I can say a positive word about. State Farm Roadside Assistance, you're a failure. Good Sam's Roadside Assistance, you're getting canceled. You're a failure. The people at Kangaroo Express on 441, big time jerks. And I will never, ever set foot in that establishment again. But ACES, they're ACES. They're good people. And if I ever need a tow again, and I will, I'm going to use them. And so right now, I've got some planning to do. I've got some changes to make in my life. I don't know what the future holds for Felicidad, my RV, but I do know that something's got to happen. I can't stay stagnant where I am right now. So that's my story right now. Bittersweet as it is. Mostly bitter. But it is what it is. I've got good friends and good people in my life that are going to help me get things straightened out and figure out what the next adventure holds. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this sad, bitter video. But you know what? I do have good friends, and I am awfully lucky in my life for that. And you guys are some of those good friends. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate all the support you guys give me emotionally. Some of you, financially. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you.